All right, here we go. Coffin Comics Con Online 2021. So we're doing this again. This is round 2. We finally got a hold of Winston. Luckily, everything was fine, and but we did have fun just looking at the action figure. So this is the man that's helping bringing the Lady Death action figure to you, Winston Dunlop.
Hey, everyone.
Executive Replicas. Hey, how you doing?
Good, good. Listen, sorry, everyone, for yesterday. I didn't know how to tell time, so I was an hour late. So I apologize.
It happens. But, yeah, we're so glad you do that. There we go. Well, so glad you can join us today. That's great. So the main question, the big question, where is our action figures, Winston?
They're on the boat. They're on the boat, and they're heading towards LA port as we speak. I was given a date of arrival at the port on the 9th or 10th of April. And then once it gets to the port, it's about waiting for customs to do what they have to do with it, release it, and then it's delivered to Coffin, and then Coffin does the fulfillment.
So we get a lot of questions. Folks, since they bought it from us, and it's Lady Death, folks think that we're manufacturing this, but we're just the licensee, and you're the licensor.
You're the licensor.
Oh, licensor. Okay.
I'm the licensee.
And you're the licensee.
Yes.
So could you just walk through that with everyone? How does that work? What does that mean?
Well, I obtain a license from Coffin to do whatever figure I want or whatever the merchandise is. I get a license from Coffin, and then I seek out factories in China, or if anything in the United States that I can do if it's not an action figure. I seek out the factories, I interview them, and I get the factory to do the prototype. And after the prototype is approved, we go into production. Actually, I take that back. After the prototype is approved, we go into pre-order. Then after pre-orders and the numbers are good, we go into production. Production usually takes about between tooling, could be 45 days to 2 months, and then you have another 45 days to 2 months for the complete production, and then they're ready to get on the container and get shipped to the United States.
So what happened? So I think originally we had a date of, I think we were telling folks they're gonna be either arriving or we were gonna start shipping last December. So what happened with that? How come that original date didn't pan out?
They weren't allowing they weren't allowing the containers to board the boats. They were backed up. So instead of having us pay for storage, the shipping company told us to hold on to until they were ready to get the container on board. So we had to wait, and then we waited. Then it was Chinese New Year. So that was another delay. So you had the holidays for us. And then a month and a half later was Chinese New Year break, which is usually 20 to 25 days on a break. So that was what happened. You know, once you deal with customs and the shipping, it's a whole different beast there.
And then so now, okay, so and then we sent out a update. It was going to be, we thought it was going to arrive this month. So now it looks like it's going to be, like you said, the next month. What is that? April
9th.
So April 9th, something like that. So how come the extra time from there? What happened with that?
When the shipping company picked up the container from the they picked up the product from the factory, they put it in the container. They brought the container to the docks to load it on the boat. What happened from there, I really don't know. I was told that they weren't allowed to put the containers on the boat yet. They were backed up. So they had to hold on to the pieces for a couple of weeks, and then finally they got it on the boat.
All right, sounds good. Sounds like you're on top of things. So it sounds like things are going to schedule based on all the little hiccups. But it sounds like you're on top of stuff, and it's coming to us as fast as possible.
Yeah, that's production is not a easy thing. It's a lot of people think, it's production. You get it, you send it out to the customers. But there's a lot of people involved in the production process, and then after production, the logistics of getting it here to the States is a whole different, another beast. So we're pretty much dealing with individuals and companies that we have to pretty much allow them to do what they have to do to get the stuff here. And, you know, I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. I have to take their word. You know, the stuff is shipping, stuff is getting there. I'm not the only one, even though the Lady Death customers don't care about other customers and other product, but this is a problem going across the board. This is a problem that all manufacturers and licensees are dealing with and have been dealing with. I've been in this business 15 years, and I don't think I've ever had a shipment arrive on time. There's always been a problem with something in either customs holding it for examination, x-ray, or they don't have enough bodies to get to the container. It has to be put in storage, and then I have to pay the storage on that. So yeah, it's a whole different beast, man. It's just, I just want to get the pieces done and get them in the customer's hands.
So obviously it sounds like something you love if you've been doing it this long and you keep putting up with the all this frustrations. Yeah, I guess it's just part of the downside of.
Yeah, it is definitely part of it, and it's definitely a downside to the whole process. And you know, I really wish we could get manufacturing for statues and action figures done here in the States, and I've tried that before, and I still believe it can be done. We have numerous amounts of talented artisans here in the United States. We have capability, we have the facilities, we have everything here. I just don't understand why we can't have that stuff done here in the States. I mean, when you start taking into account the shipping and the customs fees and the storage fees for all that, you're pretty much coming close to if you had the stuff done here in the United States. But right now, there's really no factories here in the States that are doing action figures on any scale, whether it be 3.75, 6-inch, or 12-inch. There's no companies doing that here. And I've tried for the last 10 years to get that going, but it's not easy. So in the meantime, I have to continue getting my production done in China.
Well, I commend you on trying to do that. So hopefully that will be something in the future. Maybe we can get manufactured in the U.S. So how does it? Okay. So just talking about like the box and all that. Do you help with the design? So what? How much?
Usually, with that, they give us a template, and the template usually is where you put the artwork on, and we get the artwork from Brian. We put it on the box. Actually, Dave from Loose Collector does that. He puts it on the box, and then we send it to Brian for approval. Brian approves it, and then it goes to printing at the factory.
Okay, yeah, that was my next question. Like, how much approval does Brian have over the product? And
100% approval.
100%? Okay.
100% approval. Nothing gets done without Brian saying, yeah, go ahead, or I want some changes. Is there some changes to be made? They will be made.
Okay, yes, because it has to represent the product and the character.
Absolutely. It has to represent the character to how Brian wants it to look, and it also has to represent the brand. So those two things have to be covered. And, you know, that's not anything that's hard at all. It's just we know, or I know, pretty much how the Lady Death process works. I've been doing figures for Brian for what, 6-7 years now. This is my first 6-inch, but I've done 12 inches with Brian before, and you know, we've done this. It's the same process, no matter what size, scale, or the product. There's a process where I bring the stuff to Brian, Brian approves it, and then it goes through the regular process. If there's changes, which there has been changes before on all the products, that's not a problem. That's expected.
So like when you work with the artists and like the sculptors and stuff, they might have like their own vision of what it's supposed to look like, and they're like, oh wait, no.
Well, no, yeah, exactly. When Dave was brought in to do the sculpting for the piece, you know, he did this piece, he did the sculpting of the prototype. We showed it to Brian, and Brian had changes, and we made the changes, and we brought it back. Brian approved it, and in that process, in that time frame between Brian approving the first one, we looked it over, and we do listen to the customers as well. The customers were, you know, they make some comments, and sometimes they see things that we really don't see at the moment. So the customers made a couple of comments, and you know, we went in, then the changes were made. We then showed it again to Brian, and he liked the changes, even though he had approved the original one. He liked the changes that we upgraded it, and it came out better.
So where did you get feedback from the customers when you were showing that? Was it like the who's Loose Collectibles?
Yeah,
Is that,
Loose Collector had put stuff on their website and on Facebook, and they got a lot of comments back. Most of it was good. Some of them were, well, they should do this and they should do that, and we listened to it and we're like, okay, we can do that. So we went in, and they went in and made the changes and showed it to Brian, and Brian liked them.
Okay, so the chain of command. So Brian has the character, you license the character, and then you're working with Loose Collectibles for the sculpt and
for the production. Also, we're using their factory in China to do the production. So there's Loose Collector doing the prototyping and the production. Now, I've known Loose Collector back in the day when they were doing some custom 6-inch figures for me, because I'm a collector, and not all characters have been made yet into 6-inch or 12-inch. So I had some 6-inch figures done by them, and I really liked the way they went about it. The detail, the paint, the sculpting. It was one of the best figures I've seen as far as a custom 6-inch. So I started talking to him. I started talking to him about 2.5 years ago, before we even got into the licensing thing. And during that time, I purchased some more custom figures for them, and I just fell in love with their technique and how they went about it. And when I went to Brian about doing the 6-inch, he was like, yeah, okay, here's a license. And I got the license. I went to Dave, and Dave said, I got the license. Let's do this. He said, okay. And we did it.
And then I'm seeing a lot of reviews of the products on a website called Foosh.
Yes.
Associated with Loose Collectibles, or with you, or how do they get these prototypes to review and all that? Right.
They were sent the prototype. Oh no, I'm sorry. They were not sent. They were sent one of the first pulls. They were sent, and they checked it out. Same thing like the stuff that we sent Brian earlier. Mm-hmm. They received those, and then they do a review on it, and the reviews were really good.
Oh yeah. Now, I'm trying to remember. I think I kind of remember hearing customers say, like, I don't know if it was the hair or something, like some of the improvements they're talking about, or the cape. But I think that's really great that you listen to the end customer who's actually going to purchase it, and has their own demands and can see what it's going to do, like look like on their shelf, and they've seen other designs that don't work. So that's great that you actually listen to them and incorporate that into the final design.
We have to do that because the customer is our bloodline. If the customer is not happy, they won't come back to us and buy another product. If they don't like the pre-order, how the figure looks in pre-order, they're not going to pre-order it. So if customers have legitimate concerns or suggestions, we listen to them. Now, we don't listen to everything. Of course, there are customers that come in with some crazy suggestions, or and it's just like, okay, thank you, and we have to go on about our business. But the serious collectors have legitimate suggestions, and there was a time where they didn't have a voice, and because of social media, now they have a voice, and a disgruntled customer could really hurt sales of a certain character if something wasn't done right. So you want to listen to them. You want to go back and review and take the best suggestions that these customers had and look at it and say, okay, is there room for improvement? Will that help the figure? Would that hurt the figure? Will it hurt the articulation, or would it help the articulation? So everything that was done to the piece helped in the looks and the articulation. And Dave did a great job at it.
Yeah, I saw one review that the Foosh guy did, and he was talking about how it was perfectly balanced so she could stand. I know someone's question about, like, does it need a stand to go into the stand-up? But yeah, she can stand up by herself perfectly because of the balance.
Well, you do have to balance it, because she is top heavy. She is top heavy, and I'm meaning the hair.
Right. Her hair.
So you just don't sit it down and it's going to stand on its own. You have to do some finagling to it for it to stand on its own. But it is quite balanced well.
Oh, and I guess my other question, because I was wondering, is because of the COVID, if that had something to do with. I'm assuming it had, like, when you're getting the calls about things being backed up and all that. I assume that's probably the.
Well, yeah, COVID. You got to remember, that COVID thing started in China before the U.S. even knew what was going on. I started noticing problems at the end of 2019 when I was supposed to have some production shipped to me, and all of a sudden I got these emails saying that, oh, it's going to be a delay. It's going to be delayed. They're backed up. They're backed up. And I was like, wow. I mean, I know it's the holidays, but my stuff was already booked to be shipped out. And then, New Year came around, and then by the time February, March came around, it was full blown. China was shut down. We were pretty much shutting down and going, losing our minds. And so 2020 was a lot of delays across the board in everyone's life, not just in production and toys, but just people's lives were put on hold, changed, turned upside down. And, it was a horrible thing. And, I hope that's behind us. I hope we do return to some normalcy in the very near future. I do see things starting to return, but, there's still things lingering around.
That's pretty fascinating. You saw it in 2019. So actually, I guess with that perspective, having these arrive next month is actually really good compared to what it could be if, since things were getting backed up already in 2019 that you saw.
Yeah, I don't know if I would say it was pretty good. I would have liked to have these shipped out at the end of December when we were supposed to.
Yeah, that would be the best.
Yeah, it was just, again, it was something that was out of my control and it was out of loose collectors' control, because the moment you deal with logistics, again, they're separate from us. They work hand in hand with us only in regards to they're picking up the shipment and getting it to us. But they have to deal with customs. They have to deal with the shipping, the boats, the docks, and they may have a date saying this is going to happen. We're going to do it this day, and you go down to the docks. The dock says, "Yeah, we're backed up. We can't do anything. You're going to have to, it's going to be another 3 or 4 days," and that's when you get there. So,
yeah, and hey, government workers they're really quick, so it should come right out of customs.
Wow, that sounds like sarcasm there.
Fingers crossed they'll be in the front of the boat, and it'll just.
I hope so. I mean, I told them to keep me updated. They said as soon as it gets to the port, they'll let us know, and then once it's at the port, hopefully customs doesn't take their sweet time going through it, and hopefully they don't have to X-ray my container or inspect my container, and because I can add a week to it. I just want to get it delivered to Coffin and get it to the customers.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for answering all these questions on that. So let's talk about the future. What is in store for Coffin and Winston Executive Replicas Dunlop?
Well, we have a line of 6-inch figures on the Coffin characters. So those are going to be done within the next probably 2 years. And if Brian adds any more characters, we'll gladly add them. We've been holding off on Hellwitch because we don't want to put up another pre-order Hellwitch until the customers get the Lady Death. And we were supposed to have the Hellwitch up for pre-order in January, so here we are. She probably won't go up until April.
So okay, I'm showing on the screen here. This image, is this like the prototype, or is this like the final?
No, that's the prototype. That's
okay.
And even though it's been approved, and we took the pictures, we have all the pre-order pictures ready to go. We have everything ready to go, but it's not advisable. I don't think it's advisable to ask the customers to pre-order another figure when they're still waiting for their previous pre-order figure. I'd rather them get it, see the quality. It's like, oh wow, it was worth the wait. Yeah, no problem. And then they'll put the order in. So that's how we're doing it with Coffin.
And yeah, when that one goes into production, hopefully everything will be a lot quicker, and
hopefully you won't have another outbreak of something or something really bad. And we also have 12-inch figures coming out of Lady Death and La Muerta soon, and Hellwitch, but those are down the line, probably 2022. Another thing is we have to really take into consideration the customer's wallet. These are not $10, $20 figures. I wish they could be, but in order for me to do that, I have to produce 200,000 pieces to get them down to that price. And even then, I don't think I could get them down that price. Of those numbers, I'll probably be doing the Marvel Legends pricing of $19.99 to $25.99.
What's the total run? Do you know the total run of?
I think 4,000.
4,000. That's it. Wow.
4,000. So that's why the price is so high on the pieces, because these are well-made pieces. They're a lot of work goes in them. These are not they look like they're well-made. They look high-end, and there's a cost to that. And we try to use different bodies for each character. We're not just taking one body and putting all the same thing on top of that. So there's a tooling cost to that, and you have to divide the tooling cost into the production cost. And I've had customers call me up and say, "Why is your pieces so expensive?" And I just bought some Marvel Legends pieces. Even the DC Direct pieces are less expensive than yours. And I had to tell them, look at the numbers, look at their production runs. What do you think the production runs on Marvel Legends? It's probably a couple 100,000 of those. We're doing 4,000. So for us to give you the same quality and craftsmanship in these characters that you would get in a Marvel Legends or a DC Direct, there's a price added to that.
And the collectability now, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Are you gonna do another run of these, the exact same ones, or is this one and done for that, and then maybe do a
one and done for that? There might be some variants done. We're talking to Brian now about some variants, but I want to move on to other characters. I mean, Lady Death has a variety of different outfits, but this is not, again, we can't just take the same body and do different outfits. These outfits are sculpted on the body, so we have to do a new tool for it. I want to get the characters going, though.
I'm going to put my vote in to do this. I don't know what you call this, but where it's the
translucent.
Translucent. I love that.
I'll talk to Brian about that and see if he wants to do that.
Yeah, I love. I don't know, for some reason those are my favorite variants of those translucent ones. I've got like Dracula and Creature from Black Lagoon, all the one color ones. That'd be so cool.
I'll definitely discuss with Brian, and again, you guys know your customer base better than I do, and if you think that the customers, the Lady Death fans and customers would want that, I'll do it. If the customers will buy it, I'll do it. That's the bottom line.
All right, you got one customer here so far. Okay.
No, not one customer. You gotta have enough customers to go into production. But if the customers want it, there's enough customers that want it, and Brian's okay with that, we'll go into production.
All right, I'll start a campaign. And come on, fiends, let's do it.
Go ahead.
I hope you want one too. All right, got a couple questions here. Okay. Are the wings removable on that Hell Witch figure?
Yes.
Whoa, cool. Oh, you know what? I didn't show this. I've got the picture of the La Marta figure. That's pretty amazing too.
Yeah, when we did the 12-inch figure of La Muerta, she had just come out, and a lot of people didn't know who she was.
Yeah.
But I have to say, the figure came out awesome, and she sold out. It wasn't a huge run, but they sold out. Now those figures, when they first came out, I think they were $160. Now you try to get one for less than $600, $700, $800.
Now I remember posting promo photos of the actual figure, and people thought that was a cosplay gal. They thought it was a real person cosplaying, and it was like, no, that's the figure. I'm like, oh my god, it was so amazing.
Yeah, the La Muerta figure, that the 12-inch that we're doing now, which I'm hoping to get the photos done and approved by Brian, so we could get that up for pre-order soon. It's going to blow people's mind. I'm not going to give anything away, but it's going to blow your mind away. It is.
Here's a question from Paul. Are there any more 1/6 figures being made? I'd love a Hell Witch 1/6.
Yes. Lady Death, different outfits, Hell Witch. We have the La Muerta, like I just said, and there's some other characters from the Coffin line that we're going to do in 6-inch and 12-inch.
Here's a comment here from Marco. We're waiting a lot of time, just hoping the final product will be good enough. Well, I'm going to tell you, Marco, it is. It's more than good enough. It's excellent.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm a collector also.
Yeah.
I've been collecting since I was a teenager, and I wanted this to be on the level of Marvel Legends, and it is.
Oh, for sure. It seems like that's what you kind of base, like the box seems to be the same style box, and like is she the same size too as the Legends? It looks like.
Yeah, she fits in that universe. That's the 6 is a common universe, but for some reason the DC Direct, they're slightly bulkier, slightly bigger than the Marvel Legends line, even though they're all considered 1/12 scale, 6-inch. I wanted to make it. I want them to fit in the same universe as the Marvel Legends, and there's other companies doing 6-inch as well, and they're doing the same thing, fitting it in to the Marvel Legends line, because that's the template really to go by. I mean, they took it, before Hasbro had it at Toy Biz was doing I thought they were doing a great job until I joined a Facebook group and voiced my opinion on the Toy Biz versions, and I got eaten alive. So, I thought when Hasbro first started doing the Marvel Legends, I didn't like the paint jobs. I thought the paint jobs were not that great, but they really, they've gone a long way, and their stuff is incredible.
We got one comment here from Time of Dying. The LaMorta figure needs lots of different weapons, pistols, machine guns, grenades. Is that
oh yeah,
possibility?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And all right, cool. Yeah, that's about it. We could wrap this up.
Questions? Wow, I missed everybody yesterday, huh?
Let's see. Any more questions here before we throw in here? We got Jacob saying, "Ship it, ship it." Yep, it is.
We got to get it before we ship it. So,
yeah, Joger, can't wait to get it in hand for sure.
Just so everyone knows, I actually looked into shipping these things by air to get them to Coffin.
Whoa.
Yeah, and when I got the price, that's exactly what I said. Whoa. I thought I would be able to get a deal. And they're like, yeah, if you're shipping the Coffin, there'll be about $4 each. Well, you times 4 by 4,000. Yeah, that wasn't going to work. So I tried everything on my end to try to get these figures in before, it took the delay, but it wasn't cost effective.
Here we go. We got, yeah, I wouldn't expect it to be. Are you still doing the 12-inch with the TV League's bodies?
Possibly.
And James, he stood us up yesterday. You stood us up.
I said I was sorry. I can't get him. I gave an apology, guy. I can't get past this. Jeez.
Okay, we forgive you. We forgive you.
Thank you.
It happens to us. And folks, it was the time zone difference, which, you know what, I've been in Arizona for so long, we never changed, so it's not something I don't even really think about. So yeah, it's an issue.
Yeah, you should have seen my eyes when I saw the emails from you. I was like, am I okay? What? Everything okay? What? I was like, oh no, did I mess up here? And yeah, I did. So I felt like such a heel, but I'm back today. So
you're awesome. Well, your amazing beard makes up for.
Oh yeah, I might want to agree with that. So.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks again for your time. Thanks for joining us here.
Thank you for having me, people. And again, I apologize for the delays, but it's out of our control. But she is a great figure. She's a beautiful figure. You will like her. No, I rephrase that. You will love her.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta agree. Yeah, just having it in hand, seeing this prototype or the test paint color one that Brian got is just.
This is actually this is a production piece.
Oh, production piece. Okay. Yeah. Oh, incredible. Yeah, I love how the hands. I mentioned that yesterday. Like the hands even have the articulation, which is so switching hands. You thought of everything. You could tell you truly love what you do. Your attention to detail is amazing and fantastic, and we really appreciate it. And we're looking forward to a long. Yeah,
and also I just want to put another shout out to Dave from Loose Collector. He's helping make this a reality. I mean, I could go to somebody else and get a 6-inch figure, but I don't know if it would be like this. And that's the difference between going to Loose Collector and going to just a regular factory that does basic 6-inch figures. Dave, like myself, has a passion for these characters. He wants to make the best piece possible. So I'm glad I made the decision to go with him.
Yeah, kudos. And I can't wait to see the Hellwitch, LaMorta, and who else do we have back here? Looks like on the box we have Chaotica and Lady Satanis. Holy cow, folks.
And also 12-inch, we're going to be looking at doing those as well. So in the next 3-4 years is going to be quite spending spree for you guys. So,
oh man, it's going to be so great, and we're going to bring you back more for more updates, explaining everything along the way, the process. People love it. I love it personally, hearing how this works and what you're doing. So, well, Winston, thank you so much, and we'll let you go, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having me. Everyone have a great weekend.
All right, thanks.
Okay, bye.
Well, folks, thank you so much for joining us. It's great that we got Winston on the line this time. That little mix-up yesterday. Now we know to actually, I take personal responsibility for that, because I should have double-checked with him what his time zone was. But so in the future, we'll have Winston coming up. He's doing an amazing job. Hopefully you agree, and hopefully we'll get these to you sooner than later. So stick around. We got more cons, more panels on this late Coffin Comics Con Online 2021. Talk to you later. See you.